Welcome. Welcome to another very tiring Sunday morning where I need my phone right next to me because, we got a bomb dropped on us just before the show started. So, there's no escaping it. There's no escaping it today. But anyway, I have another. Oh, wow. This is going to be a day. I can already tell in my head. All right. I have another great guest where we will, talk
Should
about
I leave?
what.
You said you have another great guest, so I said, should I leave? You
Just ignore me.
still waking up?
Yeah. But luckily for you, it's the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah,
So,
almost
so
bedtime.
tell the people about yourself because I suck at that. So yeah, go for it.
I am in Northern Ireland, so it is 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. That's what Tyler was alluding to. And yeah, first time on the Start Sit show with the man, the myth, the legend, Tyler Carp, the Carpinator himself. So yeah, no, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, we've met on Twitter a while back, been pen pals on Twitter, but never done a show together. So hopefully get him on my show soon, Dynasty Debates. But yeah, this is part of the process of negotiations.
Negotiations.
Yeah.
I've turned down over 50 guest spots since the season started.
No, this supposed to make me feel better. The rejection hurt less.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's supposed to. It's supposed to make it hurt less. No, I haven't done a single guest spot since the season started. Not even one.
Rude.
I've been busy.
You're a busy
very,
man.
very busy. All right, so I always have to give someone credit when a question comes in before the show starts. So we'll start with that one from Psycho Scout. Sit one of these options: Deontay Johnson, Hollywood Brown, Nuke, or Brandon Cooks. This is going to be made.
That's an easy one for me.
Well, it's going to be made for you. You're not going to have to choose because Nuke is not going to play.
Exactly. Even if he does, it sounds like Kyler might sit out and things like that. So I'd rather go. I mean, I think the other three have a really solid matchups and they've got good, solid. I'd be excited for all the other three. I would definitely sit D-Hop. So
yeah, I mean, given the news on Hopkins, I wouldn't even play Hopkins over these guys if he did play.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's not going to play, so this decision is made for you.
Next question.
Ooh. Oh, okay. One of my favorite supporters, Trogdor, who I mistaken. This is a long story about that I won't tell right now. But anyway, I love how he says morning and not good morning, because good morning is a matter of opinion. And I'm
Very
not.
True. And maybe he had a lot of Tua, so maybe it's not a good morning.
Well, luckily I have no Tua, so that to me, we'll get into that. Actually, we'll get into that with this question. So he's asking, Judy over Waddle now with Tua out. Thanks. So, I mean, what do you think?
For me, the Tua being out doesn't majorly hurt Waddle just because I think he's very short game, so he could be easy dump offs and things like that. I think that both defenses are terrible, so I don't think it's a smash to go Judy over Waddle, but I certainly have no problem playing Judy over Waddle. I think the Cowboys are going to be in control of that game. Denver's going to be trying to catch up. Judy, I would say, is the 1B to Cortland Sutton's 1A. So I don't know. I don't have any majorly strong feelings, but I'm not freaked out about playing Waddle just because Tua is out personally.
Yeah. Do you have you want to put a number on that? Like, you have like ranking numbers?
I don't have either of them. I don't do weekly rankings. I'm more Dynasty focused, but I don't have a weekly ranking for them.
Well, I'll give the people a number. So I updated the Waddle ranking with Brissett, and it didn't move. It didn't move.
Well, there you go.
I really think there's no difference. Yeah, I really don't think there's any difference. I think Tua sucks. So, and I think Brissett is underrated. So I think there's literally no difference. I didn't really move Waddle at all. Remember that we're going to get questions about Gesicki too.
Yeah.
Gesicki broke out with Brissett.
Yeah.
No,
Gesicki's
game and a half that Tua played in the first game and a half. And then when Brissett came in, then Gesicki broke out, and then he was able to continue it when Tua came back in, but he didn't break out until Brissett came in. So I don't think that this is a big deal. I had Waddle way over Judy before, and I still do. I have Waddle at 19 and Judy at 26. So not that close.
No, I agree with you 100% on the Dolphins with specifically with Waddle and Gesicki. I have no concerns, especially with that matchup.
Parker was put on IR, so they don't have.
They don't have a lot of options.
Yeah, it's Waddle and Gesicki, and that's it, really. I mean, Gaskin, I guess.
Gaskin, I don't mind. Yeah, I mean, just because the Texans have been getting gashed by
and
the running backs and things like that.
Going to be there.
Yeah.
So. Brian, how are we feeling about Kamara?
I feel great.
You're going to start Kamara. I feel a lot better with Trevor Siemian in than Taysom Hill.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. But yeah, no, I mean, there's not that many running backs I'm starting over Kamara, and I can't imagine a situation where you're so stacked that you can afford to just sit Kamara. So
there literally is no situation because I have Kamara running back 2.
Yeah,
I have Taylor at 1.
Unless you're in a 1 running back league.
Well, I had Taylor at 1, so that was a good call. I think that was a good call earlier this week. I nailed that one. That one I got right. I also
That's where you just got to quit for the week. You got to quit for the week when you do that.
I had Hines at 29. That was higher than most people, so I nailed that one too.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I have Kamara at 2 and first above running backs you could play today. So yeah, I feel pretty good. I mean, don't you want to play someone against Atlanta, right? I mean, I would.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping at 11:30 we don't get any surprises. We already had one surprise. I mean, one surprise was enough. I don't want more.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have to replace Hopkins. So Hopkins is not going to play. I think you should just assume, because the first question were good options, but these are bad options. But I think you have to assume Hopkins isn't going to play at all. So you can replace him with Adrian Peterson, Jeremy McNichols, or Brian Edwards in PPR.
Whew. I probably lean. I would say McNichols or Edwards here for me. McNichols pass catching.
We're on the same page.
More work. Yeah.
That's who we're deciding between.
Yeah. McNichols or Edwards for me.
So close.
Yeah, it is because obviously Ruggs is gone. Edwards hasn't been getting that much volume though. I could see a lot of Waller, and then a lot of maybe check.
This is the Waller game.
Oh yeah, it's the Waller's breakout, no doubt.
I mean, knowing that they're playing the Giants, I mean, the Giants can't stop any sort of tight end ever. They can't do anything.
So, I probably go McNichols personally. Because they're gonna need the run game, and Tannehill gets sacked, I believe, more than anybody else in the league, so he's gonna probably need some dump offs, and I think McNichols is the guy for that. He's already used to the offense and stuff. I'd probably lean McNichols here.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way too. Against the Rams, they're going to be playing from behind, so yeah, I would definitely go with McNichols. It's close with Edwards, but Edwards is such a mystery. I don't know. I mean. He's not going to get an increase in snaps. He was already playing the most snaps.
Exactly.
So,
and if
I
you're
don't
like
know.
Peter Howard and you don't believe in vacated targets, then, it's hard to
I believe in vacated targets a little bit more than Peter Howard does. The issue in the Raiders offense was that you had drives ending. You had one Ruggs bomb and then no more drive. Drive is gone. They scored, but for fantasy, you would rather that the drive took 10 plays to get down the field and increase the number of, targets and receptions and passes rather than it ending in one play. That was great for Ruggs, but that hurt everyone else. Yeah. So I do think that, yes, vacated targets are mostly a myth, but if you have to look at every individual situation, there are some situations, and this is one of them, where you have a receiver who ends drives in one play, that I do think it is going to help everyone else. But I think it's going to help Waller the most, Renfro the second most, and Edwards the least. So
yeah. And I think McNichols has the most probably expected volume of those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if I were projecting, I would project him with the most. If it were half PPR, it would be very close between McNichols and Peterson. I've waffled on that question all week in half. In full, it's easily McNichols. Okay, well, here we are. So I figured we would get a lot of these. So Tua's out. He was one of my favorite streamers. I had him quarterback 11 before he went down.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean QB1 for the week. Against Houston, pretty much.
No, I was excited. Yeah,
pretty much.
I could probably go out there and be a low end QB2 against Houston.
Pretty much anyone playing Houston is QB1, unless you're like the worst of the worst. You're QB1 the week you play Houston. So I had him as a QB1, even without Parker. I had him higher before Parker went down. But anyway, now you have to choose between these unappealing options: Tyrod Taylor, Jimmy Garoppolo, or Brissett.
Man, I actually don't mind Tyrod Taylor, surprisingly. I think he looked all right the first week or two. Just chucking it down to Brandon Cooks, who's an absolute monster. I'm hoping for a Nico breakout game at some stage. So I don't know. I mean, I think there's gonna be a lot of scoring because both defenses are terrible. So I would, and Tyrod is like the OG like Konami code QB. You know what I mean? He's not like out there like Josh Allen or anything, but he does a bit of scrambling. You could always see him potentially. You know, I don't hate either Tyrod or Brissett, to be honest with you. I think you just sort of go with whoever you've got the better feeling on, as far as. You know what I mean? Like, as far as like who you think will actually put up the most points. Because like you said, Brissett wasn't terrible like when he was playing earlier in the year.
He really wasn't that different.
Yeah, even like against the Bucks and stuff, he was still putting up numbers. So, you know, I don't hate either of those. I wouldn't probably go Garoppolo because if D-Hop is out, if Kyler's out, they may just try and run the ball down their throat. You know,
Debo is not 100. Okay, so we just got news, which I'll read to the people. But Debo's not 100%, which really removes Garoppolo from consideration.
Yeah.
Kittle's going to be on a pitch count. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I would just go with Brissett. Not much changed. I re-ranked Brissett. I had Tua at 11, and I ranked Brissett at 15. So, yeah. I have Tyrod at 18 and Garoppolo actually at 19, which seems too high. We'll see if we hear more about his weapons. Here we are again. Okay. Lost to who do you think has the better chance of a big game? So it sounds like he's going to have to put in not a quarterback in his quarterback slot.
Been there.
I would go check your waiver wire if Trevor Siemian is somehow still there, because I would play him in a super flex slot over any of these players. But
yeah, if you're stuck and it really is down to those guys, I would maybe go Goddard because I think he had like a 45% target share last week.
He did. They're playing the only player who did anything.
Yeah, and they're playing the Chargers, who definitely will put up more of a fight than the Lions did last week. So there could be a bit of catching up or a bit of back and forth. So if you are really stuck, you know, because I can see a world where Rondell Moore has a big game with D-Hop out and all that stuff, but that's complete just wishful thinking. You know, that's just closing your eyes and hoping, really. I would say the logical dart throw would be Goddard if you are stuck, if you literally can't get anybody else, you know. Maybe have a look and see if the players that you're playing with aren't thinking about it. Because if Kyler is ruled out, I think Colt McCoy will play. You know, so you could probably put him in maybe above any of those guys, possibly in a super flex spot. But
I mean, I have Colt McCoy ranked dead last.
Yeah, it's not great.
Dead last, but I would still play him over any of these players.
Yeah, you just never know. Like Mike White from a couple weeks ago. I mean, who saw that?
Well, you just always want to play a quarterback. Quarterback touches the ball on every play.
Exactly.
You know, Moore could have 2 catches. Same with Goddard. Goddard has had games where he's had 2 catches. The Eagles activated Tyree Jackson from the IR, and I am not that concerned in game 1, but I'm a tiny bit worried. That Tyree Jackson, who I really like, by the way, if he's on your Dynasty waiver wire, he shouldn't be. I would go correct that. Quarterback turned tight end for the Eagles. They loved him in camp. I think they would have traded Ertz if Jackson had not had an injury in the training camp. I think they would have traded Ertz. I think that's why they kept him for some of the season. But anyway, for me, there are 7 tight ends that I'm really comfortable starting at a flex spot this week, with Goddard being the final one of those. I have him at 7. So, yeah, I would start him over these other options.
Boom. Nailed it.
Morning. Oh, Derek, one of my other big supporters. I have a lot of these. I have Patrick also, someone who's often in the chat.
Oh.
I thank him for that. But Derek as well. It's a lot of the same people. And, I don't mind that because, it's nice to get to know people, honestly.
Exactly.
I'm more than just a fantasy robot. Even though some people think I'm just a robot. All right. Are we playing Elijah Mitchell today with his injury, or are we just staying away from the 49ers altogether if possible? So what do you think about that? Are you interested in Elijah Mitchell today?
It just depends on your options, really. Like, if they activate him and they feel confident enough to let him play, like I said, with the injuries on the other side of the ball, it could just be a run-heavy game, so that could be a good shout. But I don't want to. I mean, I don't like having to start players unless they're absolute superstars, if they're coming off a week of like being doubtful or missing practices and things like that. So if you have better options, I'd probably rather pivot. But I mean, I'd rather play him than just literally somebody that you're picking up off the waiver wire, last minute.
The odds are you don't have better options. I have him running back 16, even with the injury.
Yeah. So I would still play him if he's active.
I do think that Jeff Wilson will be active today.
Yeah. No, I was actually gonna say that because that's one of the guys I was looking at, even especially in DFS. Because if Mitchell had been ruled out, I was gonna say, man, I would light up, Jeff Wilson. But if they're both playing, ugh.
Now, you're Dynasty focused, just like me. People always forget during the season that I'm actually a Dynasty analyst.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I didn't do any redraft content other than start sit is my biggest interaction with redraft. But no, I'm mostly a Dynasty analyst. I write for DLF. If Trey Sermon is inactive today, healthy scratch, and I think he will be, by the way, that's what I'm projecting. I'm projecting that Wilson is the backup, Hasty is the third string, and maybe a little passing down, and Cannon is active for special teams. I project that Sermon will be inactive today. If so, can you cut him from your Dynasty roster? Can you cut him?
Oh, no. I don't know. Oh, man, I hate that question. I mean, he feels like at this stage, he feels like Keyshawn Vaughn 2.0.
He is Keyshawn Vaughn 2.0.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if you can cut him just yet, just because you probably spent like a second-round pick on him.
So hard. It's not. No, you spent a lot of people spent a first-round pick.
That's true. I've seen a lot. I got it. I only have 1 or 2 shares, but it's because he was in the second round still. So I was like, oh yeah, sure, why not? I'll take a shot on him. But
in a super flex, he was mostly early second.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't just yet, just because. I would wait and see.
Well, let me ask the question differently. Then you have one roster spot, and you can only have one of these 2 players.
Oh no.
Jeff Wilson's activated. He's activated, and Sermon is healthy scratch.
Okay.
Dynasty, one of those 2. You either can have Wilson or Sermon. One of them.
Can I trade?
No. No, you're not getting out of that question. No.
Oh, I hate it here.
You have to choose.
I'd probably take Wilson. If I'm like in any
if that situation comes to pass, as I said, I would prefer to have Wilson in Dynasty, because that means that they're going to take a guy right off the pup list who's done nothing all season. Just put him back in. That means that Sermon is completely finished.
He's in the doghouse.
Oh, and once you get in Kyle Shanahan's doghouse, you don't get out. The only way you ever get out is if they pay you a massive contract. That's why Tevin Coleman and Jerick McKinnon got a couple of second chances. Or if you're a first-round pick, which is why I think Brandon Ayuk may have a path out of the doghouse. But everyone else, Dante Pettis wasn't a first-round pick. He never found his way out of the doghouse. Trey Sermon, I think he's in the permanent doghouse. Just a third-round pick. I mean, you can light a third-round pick on fire if you want. Teams do it all the time. The Rams picked Tutu Atwell. They just took a second-round pick, and it's great. They've actually traded away all their draft picks. It's good for them. They've prevented themselves from making any more mistakes.
They know their own strengths and their weaknesses.
That's true, yeah. Rest of season PPR. This is a good question from Trogdor. Henderson or Justin Jefferson? I think this is 2 situation dependent to answer with a one size fits all.
Yeah, because running backs that are very productive are super hard to get hold of, but at the same time, Justin
Who
Jefferson's
else
a
do you
stud.
have?
Yeah,
How many wide
probably too
receivers do
vague
you
of
start?
a question. Yeah.
Yeah, how many wide receivers do you start? How many running backs do you have to start? How many flex spots are there? PPR makes it closer. If it were half or standard, it would always be Henderson. PPR makes it closer. Also, the Rams haven't had their bye week yet, and the Vikings have, which also makes it closer.
And I'm a homer, so I'd probably go Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I need some context there, though. Like, how many wide receivers can you start? How many running backs?
Yeah, exactly.
This is very close.
It's too hard.
It's very close. So those little, how many teams are there? So those little factors are going to make or break this one way or another. But it's very close. This is a very, for redraft, this is a very reasonable question. Okay, from Damon, another one who's often in the chat. Welcome back. We're nearing 11:30, which is my least favorite time on Sunday morning. That's when bad things happen. That's when we find out the inactives.
James Robinson's out. I thought that was going to happen, but
that shouldn't sort of have surprised anyone.
No,
we knew that James Robinson was going to be out. Okay, Gaskin, Sutton, or Tony, half PPR.
I honestly do think Gaskin will have a good day today. Just based on who he's playing. I think the Texans defense is so terrible. But I think that Tyrod will be able to get some points on the board to keep them scoring, to keep them moving a little bit with Brandon Cooks and stuff. So, man, that is a tough question, honestly. In half PPR, because Gaskin would be their pass catching back as well. Man, I don't know. I really like Tony as well, actually, and I expect there to be a lot of like. You go with this one. I'm really Tony.
I'll go with Tony. I love Tony. Tony's
I love Tony. My little Tony.
Even though he's an idiot.
Oh, he's such an idiot.
Such an idiot.
I can't believe what he tweeted. I was like, just don't.
Well, that's why I'm saying he's an idiot.
Yeah, don't tweet that.
He tweeted about rugs. I'm like, really, bro? We need to take you to a social media class.
Yeah,
we don't
tweet the phone off him.
We really don't tweet things in favor of people who drive drunk. That's not gonna work. Yeah, so
no,
we're gonna have to. Someone's gonna need, seriously with Tony. Someone's gonna need to like pull him into a room.
Their wing.
Like, you can't do this. Like, you have to get your act together, because if you don't, you're not going to last long.
No,
because in the NFL, they just don't have patience for that kind of shit. But yeah, no, he needs to get his act together. But either way, I would still start Tony.
I would go Tony over Claypool in full PPR personally.
Yeah, well then it's also he wants to add Waddle in there for pick 2. I would still go with Waddle first, and let's see, Tony versus Claypool. Yeah, I have them one spot apart with Tony ahead, so I would go Tony and Waddle.
Tony, Claypool.
Okay, Damon. So he wants 2 of these in a PPR: Hyde, Galladay, Davis, Javonte, Kirk. So I think we just take Davis and just eliminate him from this.
He doesn't exist.
No, he's irrelevant compared to these other players.
Yeah.
So Galladay, Kirk, Javonte, and Hyde, though, I think are all close.
Yeah?
I do. Yeah, I think they're all close.
Would you really start Carlos Hyde against the Bills, though?
I'd rather not. I mean, I'd rather not. But I'd rather.
They're literally like the best defense in the NFL against the run and stuff.
Sure, but I'd rather start him than Davis. New Orleans is not a good matchup.
Yeah, 100%. But I'm just thinking, like, for me, Hyde and Davis could both just be. Let's get rid of.
Yeah, no, I'm not really considering Hyde either. So to me,
I would go Javonte and Kirk myself.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning. Galladay is, to me, Kirk is the first choice. Kirk is my first choice.
Yeah, he's had a good season. D-Hop's probably out. They're going to need to throw the ball.
Green is out too. Don't forget about that.
Yes. Green, good
Green
shout.
is out too. Yeah, Kirk is my first choice.
Definitely.
And then, Galladay has a good matchup. They say he's 100%. They say he's 100%.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it, because Galladay hasn't done anything since like week 5 of 2020.
Well,
So
that's my thing. And Javonte has looked good.
it's
And
close.
he got a couple receptions last week as well. So that's
Yeah,
nice to
if you
see.
went one or two running backs down, I would force Galladay in there. But Javante is one of the last running backs that I would start over him. So I'll agree with you and go with Javante and Kirk. But it's
Boo.
not far off. You know,
Here he is again.
yeah, but he's saying he can't pick up anyone because the waiver wire is on Tuesday and Friday. Honestly, that's bullshit.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's
ridiculous. Get that
bullshit. You
changed.
know what? Here's my preferred waiver wire settings for this. If I were doing a league myself, I would have waivers run every day. Start with waivers, Wednesday at 3 a.m. is usually when they run for a standard league. Tuesday waivers usually process Wednesday at 3 a.m. I process Thursday at 3 a.m., Friday at 3 a.m., Saturday at 3 a.m., and Sunday at 3 a.m., and then have open free agency on Sunday morning. That's what I would do if I could do it myself.
Yes, I am in a couple of leagues that do that where we have the kind of free for all on Sundays, and I think that's fair because there's
That's
so
how it
many,
should be.
especially nowadays with COVID and all that crap. It really is.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
just
so
feel
many
like there's
last minute
also.
inactives, and
Do you also feel like there's more last minute inactives than there used to be? Because I do.
yeah, I feel like there's more injuries in general this year than there was like in the
I
last
do
couple of
feel like
years.
there's more of these last minute
Yeah,
changes than there
yeah.
once were.
I feel
So
like
I
it's maybe
think,
the coaches just trying to be clever or something. They're like, oh, we'll wait till the last minute when they
but I
probably do
do
on
think there should
Friday.
be waivers throughout the week and not open free agency and only open free agency on Sunday morning. That's how I would do it.
Yeah, maybe Thursdays and Sundays because of the Thursday night game, maybe. But
Eh,
yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
nah. With Thursday night, it's one game. You should prepare. You should be able to
Yeah.
prepare for it. But on Sunday, there's just too many possibilities. I mean, we went into last night. Was Hopkins going to start? Was Kyler going to start? CMC is still up in the air. Robinson was
Kittle,
probably
yeah.
out, but we're not sure. Montgomery, we still don't know.
Yeah.
That's a whole other issue. That's on Monday. So that's a whole other problem. We don't know about him. Sam Darnold isn't going to start. Then he is going to start. Then he's not going to
Yeah.
start. Now he is going to start. So that was a whole back and forth with him. And then now at the last minute, Tua's out. So, and then there's Woods and AJ Brown are probably going to play on Sunday night. I would say there's like an 80%, 80 to 90% chance they play, but what if they don't
Yeah.
play? So
That's
you
brilliant.
see that there are, in my start sit spreadsheet, I have a whole list of every single injury.
That's a long list.
Yeah, so to the side of my rankings, I have a list of every injury. So yeah. It's tough. Okay, Hollywood or Brandon Cooks?
I really like Hollywood this week. The Vikings secondary is garbage, and I'm a Vikings fan, so I can say that.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. For my sins, so I like Brown a lot this week, but Brandon Cooks has like a 45% target share or something ridiculous. So I don't think either is a bad shout.
No, these are both players you should be starting.
Yeah, it's like who are you have definitely above? You must have a really good team.
Yeah, who do you have?
If this is the choice, then you got a really good team because I would want to start both these guys.
I will say that if you have Deebo Samuel, I would just and you're not asking about him and asking between these two, I would just bench Deebo Samuel for these two. I have them both. I've moved Deebo down to wide receiver 18 for the week. So I'm not confident.
That's fair.
Now 18 is still starting.
Oh yeah.
I have Brown at wide receiver 14, so I'm very high, and Cooks at 17.
Yeah. No, definitely. I've got Brown in a lot of DFS this week. I think he should have a really good week.
Both of these are starts though. So, but if I have to choose, it'll be Brown. With Tua gone, oh boy. So this is a super flex spot. Tua's gone. So now we have to choose between Quez Watkins, whatever work he's going to not get, or Taysom Hill's role.
I'm glad that you know this is gross, Derek.
Yeah, this is horrible. I mean, what do you think's more likely? Taysom Hill like falls into the end zone, or
I mean, I would probably go Quez here. Probably. Just because we know at least he is one of their starting wide receivers. He is going to be playing. And again, they're playing the Chargers, so there should be scoring on Chargers side. So they should be having, I mean, it's gross.
I'll go with
Derek
Quez
said.
also, but
It's gross. But like you said, Taysom could come off the bench and fall in the end zone twice. We don't know. But then you're literally just praying and hoping that
I think you'd have to go lower than Quez for me to go. Like, I have Quez at wide receiver 54 this week. I think you'd have to go lower for me to pick Taysom.
Yeah, like Zay Jones or something maybe. Or
well, I didn't even rank Zay Jones. I ranked 71 wide receivers, and Zay Jones was not one of them.
Jeez.
So yeah. Okay. Yeah, I rank a lot of guys. I have to be prepared.
You really do. Props.
Okay, from Damon. Would you drop Dylan or Samaje Perine to stash Jeff Wilson? I don't roster Jones, but I do have Mixon. So that usually doesn't matter to me. Either way, I'm not dropping Dylan. Dylan actually has a role that we know. And if Jones ever went down, Dylan would be an RB1. So we know that. So I'm not dropping Dylan. Perine, though. What about Perine?
It's hard to know if I'm guessing, is this a redraft question just for this season then?
I would think so.
I would assume
Dynasty question. This could be either. If it's well, okay.
The thing is,
no, this is an easy question actually. No, it's an easy question.
Okay.
It's an easy question. Yes, drop Perine. In redraft, that's because the 49ers are beyond their bye. And the Bengals bye is next week. So even if you added Perine, you wouldn't be able to start him next week. So in redraft, this is easy. Just take Jeff Wilson.
Definitely.
And
with the way the 49ers play, if you're wanting to throw a 49ers.
And then in Dynasty, I think Wilson is a better player than Perine. And I think Wilson has more potential. So I would go with Wilson also. So
that's fair. Yeah, I'm not a huge Perine fan, but for some reason they seem to like him in Cincy.
Okay, so we have some news.
Oh dear.
Luckily, nothing too crazy as of this moment. So we knew Dawson Knox would be out, and he's out.
Holy crap!
No, we knew he'd be out.
Yeah, no, I just seen Harrison Smith's gone on the COVID list.
Oh,
so that means the Vikings secondary is even worse than it already was.
Yeah. Okay, so for. Okay, James Robinson is out, which we knew. Latavius Murray, he was doubtful, out. Okay. Sammy Watkins also out. So that means that Rashad Bateman is fine. I would think that Sammy Watkins was very up in the air, but he's out. So, and Bateman is in. So I would have full confidence in playing Bateman at whatever you ranked him at. I don't have Bateman ranked that high. But I have full confidence in playing him. You can play him as a borderline wide receiver 3. That's what he is.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think that Hollywood and Andrews are still the focus right now. So hard to rank Bateman too high. But I had him at 39. He might move up a couple spots now that I see Watkins out. But he'll probably fall 35, 36, 37. When I lock them up. So
it could very easily, become a shootout that game. Do you know what I mean? Just because the defense is so bad on the Vikings side that Kirk could then be forced into, gunslinging with Jefferson and Thielen, and that would be great for fantasy.
Okay, so we have more news. So McCaffrey's in. McCaffrey's active.
Yes.
So what that means is that I re-ranked it yesterday with what I thought would happen, which is McCaffrey playing. So based on that information, I have McCaffrey at running back 11 and Hubbard at running back 39, which is a complete sit. So you can't play Hubbard anymore. And I have McCaffrey at running back 11, which means you're almost certainly playing him in almost every situation. Okay. Fields or Simeon? I'm in a lot of pain. Fields or Simeon?
Oh man, I'd probably go Fields, but
me too.
Just because even though Simeon beat the Bucs, he didn't look great doing it. And I think he only got didn't he only get 12 or 15 points or something like that?
Playing Atlanta though.
Yeah, true. True.
I don't have Simeon that low. I have Simeon at 22, but I feel it's at 20. I would start Simeon over guys like Ben Roethlisberger, who's sucked every game. He's 0 good games, actually. 0 good fantasy games.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, who is obviously hurt. That whole team is a disaster. I don't want to start him.
Yeah.
I'd start him over Darnold, whose health is in question with the shoulder.
Yeah.
Colt McCoy.
I think
Also,
I
I
would
have Trevor
go-
Lawrence at the bottom.
Oh yeah, like I literally am. No, Trevor Lawrence is not.
But not over Fields. I would go with Fields over Simeon.
Yeah, I would hope that they seen what happened last week and let him
The rushing
a
upside.
little bit.
The rushing upside.
Exactly. That's
the reason why it's going to be Fields over
100%.
Simeon. But I do think Simeon is in a new tier of what I would call the really bad. And he's my favorite of the really bad options this week because he's the only one with a good matchup. Marvin Jones or Khalil Herbert, PPR flex. This is a very hard question. This is a very hard question because what do you think the chance is that David Montgomery plays?
Well, even if he does play, though, you know what I mean? He's just come back off injury. I don't think they're going to give him the full workload.
No, I'm going to rank Herbert as the starter if Montgomery
I would probably go Herbert just because I am terrified of what's going to happen with the Jags against the Buffalo defense. Like, their offense is terrible against Seattle's defense, and Seattle's defense is terrible. So if they're going against the best defense, one of the best defenses in the NFL,
Damian Williams is out. So if Monty doesn't go, Khalil Herbert is another one.
Yeah.
So
I would take the chance that he doesn't play or that he's played very limited, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I think he will be limited. I think I have to take my chances here. Marvin Jones isn't good enough. So I'll go with Khalil.
He only got like 7 targets last week when they got.
And this is Buffalo. This could be a disaster.
Yeah.
So I'll have to take my chances on Khalil Herbert.
I don't want to start any Jag this week.
I do think Khalil Herbert is going to be like a version of, if Monty returns, it's going to be like starting Melvin Gordon or Javonte Williams. I think you're going to be in that spot.
Yeah, it's going to be like the old school, like Monty Tariq Cohen before Tariq Cohen got injured and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Where
but Khalil Herbert's not really that kind of player. That's the thing. He's not really that kind of player. I think it's just going to be a different work split.
No, that's what I mean. No, it's not. Everything's not going to go through Monty. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like that.
I think it's going to be a little bit like what it was at the beginning of the year with Monty and Damian Williams, except instead of 70-30, it's going to be 55-45. And but this
Khalil
week,
Herbert's looked good.
This week, I think Herbert is going to be the starter. I think Monty, if he plays, I actually think the only reason Monty might play is because Damian Williams is out. I think if Damian Williams were healthy and fine, they would just let Montgomery take another week. But since Damian Williams, I think that they'll be activating Montgomery to take Damian Williams' old role with Herbert, which is not much. So I'm going to have to go with Herbert. And I might get burned on this, but I've been saying start Herbert in most of these questions.
Yeah.
Hyde or Singletary to replace James Robinson. Okay. Man.
Singletary for me.
I'm going to go with Singletary against Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Hyde, I don't want to start Hyde.
No.
I don't want to start Hyde. They are close. I have Singletary at 28 and Hyde at 31. I already ranked Hyde, assuming Robinson would be out. So,
yeah, I
came in with 31 for Hyde. I just don't want to start him.
No. I mean, let me see here. I remember looking at this yesterday, and it was brutal. It was Buffalo's run defense.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Also,
I think they're only allowing like 86 yards of rushing per game.
There's no Royce Freeman for the Panthers. They deactivated Royce Freeman, which tells me that they think CMC is good.
Well, they were using Amir Abdullah a lot last week as well. So they may.
Well, Amir Abdullah was always going to be active as the kick returner.
Yeah, but they just may not like Royce Freeman.
But what I mean by that is if they're not going to have another running back active, they're confident that CMC is pretty much full. I
hope so, yeah. Because, I mean, he was, they've given that extra 3 weeks. I'm hoping he is back now for the season.
Well, usually if teams are really desperate, they can activate 3 running backs and a special teamer, kind of like what the 49ers do. But if they're not even doing that, if they're just comfortable with just CMC, Chuba, and Abdullah in an emergency,
That's
Um,
solid. It's definitely promising.
yeah, but I kind of like him. So 11 might be too low.
Yeah, I mean, to me, he's one of those guys that he's in that tier of like if he's active, you just play him. You don't question it. You just go for it.
Yeah, no, I think 11 is too low. So I might have to adjust that.
Adjust the
uh,
ranks.
yeah, gotta adjust on the fly. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay, waivers open on Sunday for free agency. Waivers run every day, and Fab only way to do it. Yeah, that's what I said. Think. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yep.
Most dynasty leagues are so deep that open waivers on Sunday. It's not like you're getting massive steals, but it still needs to be open. Yeah, I mean, Colt McCoy could be on waivers.
Yeah, I picked him up today actually because I have in a big Superflex 16 team. Kyler Murray is my QB1, so Colt McCoy was actually on the waivers, so I picked him up because it was open waivers. Not excited about it, but
no, I mean, there's no
better than not having it.
But you know, okay, from Jesse, PPR, Gaskin or Damian Harris? I don't really like my Gaskin rank. I have Gaskin at 21. That seems wrong.
That's too low.
Yeah, that feels wrong.
Yeah.
I'd still go Damian Harris though. Trust him more.
No.
I trust him more. Okay.
Harris. This will be our water bet then. Gaskin versus Damian Harris.
I'm good with that. Yeah, no, my Gaskin rank feels a little bit off now that I'm looking at it. Might have to change that.
Texans are so bad.
But I still think I'd rather have Harris. All right. From Psycho Scout, I have Devo. Oh, yeah. Oh, so it's actually exactly what I said. Oh, you have Nuke too. So yeah, Nuke's not going to play, and then I'd rather have all Johnson, Brown, and Cooks over Devo this week. So if that helps you. Tua is active, but Brissett starting. Higgins or Cook. Well, I mean, Tua's not going to play. He's just whatever. They might not have a good backup, or I don't know. I don't know who their third quarterback is. Reed Sinnett, I think. Maybe. I have no idea. Higgins or Cooks?
Ooh. They're playing the Browns. Cooks. Probably Cooks. Cooks gets like if anything good is going to happen, is probably through Cooks for the Texans.
Yeah, no, I would go with Cooks. Definitely Cooks. Also, I think it's the nail in N'Keal Harry's dynasty value because he's not playing today. Yeah, man. Oh well. Oh, N'Keal Harry.
Why N'Keal?
Yeah, not good. Not good.
No.
Ramondre Stevenson is active though. That's something. Oh man, it's tough out there.
It's tough in the streets.
Tough in the streets. Yeah. A defensive question. Okay, Chargers or the Bengals? Okay, so Chargers against
Philly,
or the Bengals,
the Browns. I'd probably take the Bengals. I think Baker's been pretty crap.
Yeah, no, the Philly can always. Chargers defense has been terrible. Yeah, I'd go with the Bengals.
Yeah.
Visca or Ayuk?
Ayuk.
Yeah, Ayuk. I have Ayuk at 45 and Visca at 55. I saw Visca like ranked in ECR in the 40s, and I don't know why. Why? What has he done?
It's heartbreaking. I don't want to talk about it. I love Visca.
So do I.
I am absolutely devastated. I hate Urban Meyer.
Completely
Urban Meyer
devastated.
out. I really hope he gets
brutal.
sucked.
That one's absolutely brutal. Flex Jordan Howard or Cole Beasley?
Beasley.
Easily. Can't trust.
I can't get the Beasles.
Yeah. Pratt Fryermuth or Brian Edwards? PPR Fryermuth, yeah, and easily in that format.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Akash. Um, okay. Cooper Thielen or Landry? Pick two. This is easy.
Yeah. Cooper and Thielen, just for
Cooper
clarity.
and Thielen. Yeah. Cooper and Thielen. This is harder. Have one and a half.
Kittle.
Really?
1.5 tight end premium?
Kittle's not even gonna. Kittle's gonna play. It was
But if
easier
Debo-
when it was. It was easier when it was Brian Edwards. And
I know, but for me, like if Debo is out or limited
Debo's gonna
and Elijah Mitchell is banged up, you know what I mean? Even if he gets like 4 or 5 catches, like that's 1.5. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But Woods. I mean, I have Woods at wide receiver 15.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Woods. I'm more worried about Kittle's injury than Woods'
Wait, who are the Rams playing this weekend again? Let me see.
Titans.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna light the Titans up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Woods. If it were a different tight end, or if it weren't someone as good as Woods, I would consider it.
Yeah.
Although, how do you have a lineup that you're benching Woods? You must have really
Yeah.
good.
Who's your other tight end? Exactly.
Yeah, I'm a little confused on this.
Yeah. It seems strange.
Cortland Sutton or Jarvis Landry? Jarvis Landry.
Jarvis Landry. I love that. Jarvis Landry.
Jarvis Landry. I've never heard anyone say.
I'm definitely calling him Jarvis Landry.
Um,
Cortland Sutton for me, I would think.
Yeah, same. I have Sutton at 25, Landry at 30. So close, but Sutton. What's up? Yeah.
What's up,
Welcome.
Will?
All right, so we have a couple of those in advance questions. Okay, for this one, from Papa Jimiko, are you confident in playing Lamb with a bum ankle? I have a couple of pivot options, and they're not pretty. I mean, yeah. I mean, Lamb is active, so
yeah, I'd go Lamb.
Think you have to.
Yep.
Thanks, no problem. Any excitement about Van Jefferson with Jackson Connors and Ben's correct? I mean, I'm excited about Van Jefferson.
Yeah.
Sort of. You can play him this week.
In deeper leagues, yeah, or in like if you're in like best ball leagues and stuff like that. I mean, but yeah, no, I like him. I have
Van Jefferson at wide receiver 35 this week. You can play him.
Yeah, he's definitely startable.
Matchup 100%. Is great. Alberto or Brevin Jordan, 0.3 PPR. I've never heard of that. But Alberto, I didn't even rank Brevin Jordan. So he had a couple catches last week in his first ever game, but no.
Yeah.
Alberto.
Yeah, I'd go Alberto.
Yeah. Alberto is active today off of his injury, so it's not clearly it wasn't enough to keep him out. Okay, now that Lamb is active, looking to start two of these, Tyreek, Keenan Allen, or Lamb, I'll just stay away from Lamb.
Yeah, I mean, if you got 3 studs, I mean, 2 of them not injured and one of them is kind of dealing with something, then I would probably go with the 2 that aren't.
Tyreek Hill is playing Green Bay, and Allen is playing against Philly from the slot. So
very nice.
Yeah, I have Hill at 2 and Allen at 8. So I'm not benching those guys. I should have clarified, but I have Kelsey and Cup already. Yeah, okay. So it's deciding between
okay.
Yeah, gotcha. No, good Woods.
That makes sense.
Thank you. No problem. Okay, a couple of tight end questions. Cook or Alberto?
Probably Alberto, I think.
I would have gone Alberto before he was like limited all week with the knee, but with that, I'll go with Cook. I mean, they are playing Philly.
Fair.
Yeah, I'll go with Cook. It's very close, though. Komet or Jonnu, these are also very close, but much yuckier.
Yeah, much grosser. Oh, man. I feel like, yeah.
I don't want to play.
I don't want to play either of them, but if you have to, I'd probably go Komet.
Yeah, so would I, but I don't want to play either of them.
Yeah.
I would look for Alberto on waivers, but I guess if you're asking, you probably know about that. So he's probably not there. Cheers. Oh, thank you. Okay. DJ Moore or Debo?
More.
Especially now that Darnold's
especially with CMC back and everything, hopefully.
It's more Darnold. If Darnold is really playing, then I'm more interested.
But those first couple of weeks when CMC was playing, they all played a lot better because
I know, yeah. He makes the whole lot. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So I definitely would go more with Debo being worrying about that injury.
Let's calm the people down. Devontae Booker or CMC?
I'm always gonna go CMC there
Yeah,
personally.
it is CMC. I just wanted the people to hear it.
Yeah.
Another one of these. He is don't go with your feelings. It's not this time.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Start committing.
Because the thing is, you got to think like this: if you bench CMC and he gets 35 points,
Yeah,
how are
you're
you going to
be
feel the
like,
rest of the week? Whereas if you bench McNichols and he gets 35 points, you'd be like, I didn't know.
Yeah. No, you're gonna be kicking yourself all week. All right, a couple more of these. Boston Scott or Jacoby Myers, half PPR.
That's interesting. Probably Jacoby Myers for me. What about you?
I'd probably go Scott. For full, I'd go Myers.
Yeah. Yeah, Boston Scott's been getting a bit of run there the last couple of weeks, but it just seems so messy. And I'm wondering if they're playing from behind more, if they do get Gainwell more involved now. Do you know what I mean?
I just have no faith. None in Gainwell.
It's gone.
I don't have a lot of faith in Myers, so I'll go with Scott and take my chances.
Yeah.
It is very close.
He finally scores a touchdown this week.
All right, we'll give you the dynasty question.
Okay.
Rank
Elijah Moore, Bateman, and Tony for Dynasty. Ooh. So this would be, for me personally, this would be Elijah Moore. Then it's tough between Bateman and Tony. I'll probably go Bateman, then Tony. But I really like Tony.
I have them back to back to back, both among wide receivers and overall in the same order that you chose. Elijah Moore first, then Bateman, then Tony.
Virtual high five.
Agree.
We are twinning.
All right. Here's the Kittle question. Goddard or Kittle?
Goddard, just because of the health concerns and the fact that he got 45% target share last week.
I had Kittle higher before, but not anymore. I'll go with Goddard. Hurts or Burrow? From Craig?
Man. Hurts has been so good, other than last week, and I think it was just because they were so far ahead he didn't need to do much. But Burrow's been really good as well. That's quite tough.
It is.
I really like Burrow. And I would probably go Burrow. What about you?
I go Hurts. Very close though.
It is very close.
I have them back to back, 7 and 8.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. I don't feel like there's no smash there. You know what I mean? It's like whatever you prefer. I think they'll both probably have a decent week.
I agree. This is interesting. Kittle or Elijah Mitchell? Let's go Elijah Mitchell. This is actually easy. I'm more worried about Kittle's injury than Mitchell's.
Are you?
Yeah.
See, I feel like they just held him out to save him from himself, personally. But yeah.
Well, if he's going to be on a snap count, then that's not the case.
Well, they say that, but then Shanahan is a liar, so.
That's true. Shanahan is a big liar.
I'm so sick of Shanahan. I'm so done with him. Like I have totally divorced him. I don't want to talk to him. I've deleted his number. I don't want to hear about it.
Deleted his number. I like it. But yeah, I'll go Mitchell. And here's a couple more from these advanced ones. Ooh. So Kadarius Toney or Zach Moss in the flex, full point PPR.
For me, if you need ceiling, I'm going Toney. If you just need a safe floor and you're projected to win, probably Moss, because they should be in control and he could easily fall in the end zone against the Jags.
Yeah, I'll go with Toney. Either way, I don't know how safe Moss really is, honestly.
I don't think he's very safe, but I love Toney, so I would go Toney personally.
I love Toney also.
Yeah, big Toney guy.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm a draft capital snob, so it's not.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's not a surprise that I was relatively.
And he looked so good. That game against the Cowboys.
I know.
He looked incredible against the Cowboys.
I'm willing to believe it more from a first-round pick than I am.
Yeah.
Another player. But anyway, we have answered. There are no more questions in the chat.
Nice.
So, tell the people one last time where they can find all of your work. And, what you have going on right now, any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, obviously, as it says there on the screen, you can catch me on Twitter at FFEvanLucian. I do some writing and Dynasty Superflex ranking at Dynasty Nerds. and I have a podcast called Dynasty Debates. You can check it out. We do weekly episodes, a lot of really fun, cool guests on. And yeah, you can find it on any of the major platforms, really. But yeah, that's about it. And hanging out with cool people like Tyler and other such stud muffins.
I love that. But yeah, people know where they can find my stuff. It's all on that Twitter that you see on your screen. I put the Patreon link in the chat. That's where these rankings are. It's the only place you can find them. So if you want those, subscribe. It would mean a lot to me.
Yeah,
But
definitely. Tyler's a great guy. I can't say honestly. You probably already know that if you're watching this, but seriously, Tyler is such a dude. He's really knows his stuff. He works really hard, but he always has time for people as well, which is really cool because some people, get to be a bit snobs once they have a few followers and they just don't have time. But you know what? Tyler is a man of the people, so definitely subscribe, give him a like, follow, and get stuck into his Patreon as well. He's got a lot of really good stuff going on his Patreon. I will say that.
Yeah.
So
like and subscribe on the video is probably the thing that helps the most, though.
Do it.
But anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Good luck today.
Yes.
I hope everyone has a good day, and
I hope all my advice was right. And if it was wrong, it was Tyler's fault.
Oh yeah, if it's wrong, it always ends up being but that's okay. That's okay. I'm here for people. Anyway.
Yes.
Peace.
Right. Good luck, guys.